Hi guys. So today we are meeting Anubha Sharma. She's recently joined us. Ashnik team is growing. Ashnik, yes, the team is growing. The family is growing, and we are so happy actually to talk and know a lot about them, their background. She's going to talk to us about herself. She's going to talk to us about what she's been seeing in the region, and so I'm not going to waste any more time. Let's just start talking to her. Hi Anubha.
Hi Deepti, how are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
Good, yeah, good.
Okay. So tell us, we'd like to know a lot about you actually.
So I've joined Ashnik as Enterprise Sales Manager for Singapore and Indonesia market. I have about 8+ years of pure sales experience in the region. So in different domains like in banking, insurance, pharma, IT tech companies. So I come with that kind of background, and open source is actually a new thing for me. So this will be definitely a new chapter for me. It's a very exciting space to be in, and I'm very excited to be part of Ashnik family.
How lovely to hear that. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Okay, so tell us, what is your biggest motivation, or what was your biggest motivation when you wanted to join Ashnik?
In my multiple conversation with Ashnik and people here, what I realized is that the conversations flow more around what is the right solutioning. So the conversations are more solution focused rather than how can we sell more. So this is, and which makes a huge qualitative difference of the services being provided to the customers. That's what I found wonderful about Ashnik. And as a salesperson, I'm very customer relationship centric. And this is what I realized, this qualitative difference in providing the services to the customer is a key for maintaining the relationship.
Correct. Because that is what we strive to do here. And we try all the time.
So that's what, excited me to be a part of this, this family. Let's just, for me, it's like a family.
It is a family.
Yeah.
And we are so happy to have you. So yeah, we're just growing the family.
So I found the culture is right fit in the space of my thought process. And that's what sort of excited me. Also, the new things that are happening in the market in terms of open source, that was a big motivator for me to join Ashnik. So yeah.
Okay. Great. So I'm sure since you joined, you've seen that there are a lot of activities that are done around digital transformation per se,
yeah.
Right?
Mm.
And a lot of enterprises here are talking about adopting it, and also it's already on the way. It's implemented, and all of that is happening.
Yes.
What is your take? Tell us a little bit about what you've seen, or when you've interacted. What are your observations about how digital transformation is really taking place in Southeast Asia?
Yeah, it's a multi-layered question. So this is the beauty of Southeast Asia. It's very diverse and very complex. So you have developed economies like Singapore, which is like one step ahead of digital. The digital transformation has already happened. They're moving on to the next step of it, on how to improve things. Then, at the other hand, you have countries like Myanmar, which have just recently opened for the global market. So, global players are now entering that.
Yeah.
So, and there is a whole spectrum of countries in between. Mm-hmm. So, that's what is exciting about Southeast Asia. There's no one fit, one formula, one statement which will fill the whole, cover the whole Southeast Asia. So, I'm taking care of Singapore and Indonesia. So Singapore market is very mature and probably not that cost sensitive. So their focus is, now enterprises here are getting either cloud ready or already there. So that's one big change that I'm seeing in this region. But when we talk about Indonesia is getting there. What I have realized in my interaction in Indonesia market is that people are not very technology agnostic. They're very open to hear new ideas. They're more excited to implement new things. It's a huge country with about 261 million people there. And the government there is now focusing on being digitally transformed. They call it DX platform. So their focus is right now in getting the country ready for digital transformation. They're improving on infrastructure. They're, according to IDC, their goal is by 2021, at least 40% of Indonesia GDP will be digitized.
How interesting.
Oh yeah. So they're very fast, they're moving, they're adopting, and that's where people like Ashnik and us come into picture. I'll give you one interesting example. One of the cases that I personally handled in one insurance industry company here in Singapore and similar insurance industry company in Indonesia. So pretty much, the same kind of challenges they had, but the domain of the challenge was so different that we couldn't have had the same solution at both the places.
Right.
So that's where you need people who are solutioning focused rather than people who are selling focused.
Right. Which is one of our core strengths actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I know you've come from you have varied backgrounds before you joined Ashnik.
Yes.
And you have great experience, 8+ years of experience. I just want to know, what have your learnings and experiences been in Southeast Asia region? Why I'm asking you this, because you've handled this region for a really long time.
Yes.
And pretty diversely, for that matter. I'm sure you have something fantastic to tell us and share with us. Or are the hopes too high?
I'll try to do justice to your hope. Let me start with one live case scenario that I've handled. So what I'm seeing here is that in countries like, I would try to focus it towards Indonesia because that's one of the interest markets that I'm working with in Ashnik. So in countries like Indonesia, the bigger banks are moving towards digitizing the complete, not only their core systems, not only their core banking systems, but also their strategies. So they're using digital transformation for their strategic purposes as well, which is such a huge variation from how things were happening so far. And the kind of penetration that digital transformation has in the industry is tremendous. Let me just give you an example of India. In India, when this cashless thing started, even the Golgappa Wallas had Paytm with them.
Yeah, I know.
So
fantastic. Yes.
The penetration is very, very deep.
Yeah.
And in these countries where they're still in the process of developing, they're still in the process of imbibing new things. They're so, and this is one of the beautiful things that I've seen in Southeast Asia. People are not very technology agnostic. They want to know about new things. They're ready to try out new things because they have the space. They have the time to try out new things, and they have the liberty to fail.
Yeah.
Which probably would not be when the stakes are very high. So this is what is very interesting about this industry, that they they have the space to do that kind of exercise and learn what will fit them the best.
Right. I'm sure you know that Southeast Asia is at such a good place right now. It's very digitally intuitive, it's very adoptive, and very progressive. So the kind of digital innovation that's happening in this region especially is very quick, it's very fast-leaped. What are your observations till now, since the time you've joined? And
Deepti, that's a very interesting question. How I look at it is, there was a time when world used to look at US and UK as the major drivers of world economy and innovators. That's not the case anymore. According to Global Innovation Index 2017, the region is actively improving their digital innovation. The whole ecosystem is developing.
right.
The digital economy in the region has increased to 50 billion.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's the advantage and opportunity for the global enterprises. And that's what they're doing right now. With the kind of development that's happening in IoT, AI space, and with machine learning, cloud infrastructure in place, the growth has become very fast. So that's where we need to focus on to keep up with the industry, and that is the beauty of open source, isn't it? The kind of agility and the kind of innovation factor that it comes with. If you talk to a layman about open source, the focus is more towards how it's cost effective. But that's not just it. There's so much more to it. The agility part of it, the innovation part of it, the very fact that it grows so fast and so many eyes are there on that technology speaks volumes about the robustness of the technology. So that was again one of the motivators of me to be part of this industry.
How cool.
Oh yeah.
More power to us. So great. Thank you so much for talking to us actually, Anubha.
Thank you, Deepti, for taking out time for me.
And I had a great time, trust me.
Me too.
I hope you guys liked watching the video. Please do tell us if you have any observations or comments, and we'll try and bring you more stuff like this. To introduce the team, the new joinees, and the existing guys also. Why not? All right, thank you. Bye,
Thank you, guys.